Hello everyone, happy Saturday and welcome to day 5 of my Saleabration Countdown. This is Lena Gersa. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. And today I am sharing with you the Delicate Dahlias stamp set from the Saleabration brochure. Now, this stamp set is a level 2 item, and you'll see why in a minute. It's pretty amazing. So level 2 means it is free with a $120 order here in Canada. So this set is one that I looked at and went, okay, more flowers, got lots of flowers, don't really need any more. But let me tell you, once I started playing with it and I saw the beautiful distinctive imagery in this set, oh, I just couldn't get enough. So I've got lots of samples to share with you. We're going to make one project this evening and I've got some others to share with you. Okay? All right, let me pull up my video here on my iPad and see who's joining me on this long weekend. Are we here? There I am. Come on, there we go. All right, Anne is here. Hello, Louise, how are you? Oh, that's okay, go eat your dinner. My husband and son just ordered pizza, which of course I'm here, so I'm gonna eat it afterwards. I hope you all are having a good long weekend for those who are here in Ontario. I'm not sure about other provinces. I know that there are some provinces that don't recognize this long weekend, but it sure is nice to have an extra long weekend. Oh, hi, Elfie. How are you? Hi, Lois. How are you? All right, so we're going to flip the camera and get to it. I'm going to show you the stamp set, talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to get to our projects, okay? So give me a minute. All right, now let me get this centered here. There we go. We'll get the lamp out of the way. Make sure we got lots of light. All right, that looks good. All right, everybody. So Saleabration starts on Tuesday, day after the long weekend, which is pretty exciting. Just a couple more sleeps until you'll be able to get your hands on these awesome freebies. So Delicate Dahlias you'll find on page 14 if you have your Saleabration brochure handy. I have the stamp set right here, and really this is like 2 stamp sets in one, which is why it's a level 2 item. So we have beautiful distinctive images. So the distinctive images is a Stampin' Up! Trademark. They're photorealistic images. So you get beautiful shaded imagery with just one inking and one stamp. Okay, it's just amazing. You're going to see it in action tonight. And then we also have beautiful line art images, which are beautiful to color. I'll show you a sample that I colored with my Stampin' Blends in a minute. But they also layer beautifully one on top of the other, so you can use them together as 2-step stamping. So lots and lots of possibilities with this one. Of course, we have some lovely sentiments in pretty fonts. So it's a great set, and as I said, I've had so much fun playing with it. So let's set that aside. If I could find a spot. There's too much stuff on my desk these days. And this is the project that we're going to make tonight. So this is one that started out just sort of as a vintage look, and then I thought I would add a little bit of that gorgeous bedazzling paper from the Saleabration brochure, and it just takes this whole thing up a notch. So we are going to work on that. So we're going to start by stamping our background. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. Okay, so you need some kind of soft, well, not soft, but surface that has a bit of give behind your cardstock when you're stamping with this set. Okay, the distinctive imagery works so much better if you're not stamping on a really hard surface. The other thing is you are going to want to have a fairly dry ink pad. Now, if you look at my Crumb Cake, I'm not sure how well it shows, but the center of my ink pad here is quite light, meaning it's quite dry. So in order to get really, to get all of the detail in the stamps in this set, you're going to want to be using an ink pad that is fairly dry. Okay, now if you are getting all kinds of weird extra dots and bubbles and things, it simply means that your ink pad is too wet, and you're going to want to give it a little massage. So you're going to take your plastic spoon or even just a regular spoon and give it a little bit of a massage so that you can press some of that ink down into the pad. Okay, so that's my hot tip for using this stamp, or the stamp set, specifically with the distinctive images. You're going to want to make sure that you are using a fairly dry pad, not, you know, bone dry, but pretty dry. Okay, so there is my background. I just stamped the leaves several times, tone on tone. So Crumb Cake ink on Crumb Cake cardstock. This piece is 4 by 5 1/4 inches. I was too busy talking to tell you that. So that's our background. Super simple, right? We're gonna set that aside and bring in this awesome label. So this label set, label die cut is from a new set of dies called Seasonal Labels. And you've seen me use them a few times already since pre-order started, and I am loving them. So to stamp our dahlia, we are going to use Mary Merlot ink. Okay, so again, this is a color I don't use very often, but I just love the rich shading that you can get using the darker colors. So you'll find that the dahlia stamps better with more saturated color. So you don't want to use really, really light shades with this. You won't get that really beautiful shading and layering. So we're going to stamp our dahlia on our label. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so gorgeous. Then we're going to do some masking. So I have here a mask. You can see I've used it quite a bit. It's kind of a mess that I created just with a Post-it note. Now it's no longer sticky. I've used it so much that the sticky has completely gone. But I can still use it as soon as I figure out this is the way it goes, to mask my flowers so that I can stamp my leaves and have them look like they're coming out from behind my blossom. So I'm going to bring back my leaves. I'm just going to stamp them off a little bit to get rid of most of the Crumb Cake ink. And then I'm going to come in with some Old Olive. And again, this is a fairly dry Old Olive pad. And I'm just going to hold this down because, again, it's not sticky anymore. Ideally, this would be a sticky Post-it note. But I'm going to stamp a few leaves, hopefully not moving my mask too much. And we'll add another set over here. Just like that. And when I take it off, ta-da, we have our blossom with leaves coming out from behind it. I love masking for creating depth on a stamped image. So let's set that aside. We are going to stamp our sentiment. Now I decided to use a sentiment actually from the Shaded Summer set. That's one that I featured a little bit earlier. Coordinates with the beautiful Summer Shadows dies, which are another Saleabration level 2 freebie, I might add. So we are going to stamp Happy Birthday in soft suede ink. Now this stamp I mounted a little bit crookedly, so I'm just going to do a couple of practice runs to make sure I get this straight. So I'm going to stamp on my label just a little bit to the right. Okay. Then I'm going to come back with my Crumb Cake ink, and I am a sucker for spatter stamps. You've probably heard me, if you've watched my videos for any length of time, go on and on about how much I love spatter stamps. So this one is one of my favorites. It's from the Forever Fern, Forever Greenery, Forever Fern, what's it called? I can't remember. It's the one with all the pretty greenery, and what's it called? I probably got it here in my pile somewhere. Where are you? You're buried. There it is, Forever Fern. Yes. So I'm going to take and ink my stamp and stamp off, and I'm just going to add a few subtle little spatters just around the edge of my blossom. I might do a couple full strength as well. There we go. And it just adds the subtlest bit of texture, and I just love the look of that. So now it's just a matter of assembling our cards. So we can get our mat out of the way and bring back our stamped background. And then of course I have some of that beautiful bedazzling paper from the Saleabration brochure. So again, you got 8 6x6 sheets of this fabulously sparkly paper for free with the $60 order. Okay, so I'm just looking to see how high I started this. I think I went up, yeah, 1.5. Okay, so I'm gonna put my first piece on. These are cut to 4 by 1/2 inch. And they are going to go on. I'm actually going to put this right down in my corner, in the corner of my grid paper here, so I can see exactly where the 1.5 inch mark is. So my bottom edge of my bedazzling strip here is at the 1.5 inch mark. So we're going to add a little bit of adhesive. Get this on nice and straight, and then layer that. And anytime you're layering strips like this, using the grid lines on your grid paper is a must. It helps you to get things straight. It's a challenge sometimes when you're using these narrow strips to get them straight when you are not using grid paper. So I'm leaving a 1/4 inch gap between my strips, and then I'm putting my second one on. Okay, then we're going to layer our label on top, and it's just going to pop. The bedazzling paper totally takes the place of ribbon. And I know, you probably can't believe I'm saying that. Yes, it could be used in place of ribbon. So there you go. The ribbon lover is saying the bedazzling paper looks amazing in place of ribbon. There you go. All right, so let's get rid of our backings on our dimensionals here. And we're gonna pop this onto the front of our card. And I'm just sort of looking at the bottom sort of bend here on my label. I'm kind of lining that up with the bottom edge of my bedazzling strips here. There we go. Okay, and then that is going to get mounted on a Mossy Meadow card base, 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored in the middle at 5.5. So we will add a little bit of adhesive. And just make sure I'm putting this on right way. Okay. We're going to layer that onto the front of our card base, just like that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, love it. And then of course we have to add just a little something something. So we're going to add some pearls. I wouldn't want Debbie Short to think that there was something wrong with me by not adding bows or bling. Well, I kind of got the bling, right? I've got the bling with the bedazzling, so I'm all right, people. Really. There we go. So these are just our mini, our metallic pearls, okay, in gold. And I just love the way they sort of pick up the gold tones in the bedazzling paper. I can't say that tonight for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with me. All right, so on the inside of my sample, I didn't cut myself an extra piece of white. So I'll just show you. I just stamped the dahlia. You could certainly mask again and add some leaves if you wanted to. I wanted to have a little extra room to write a message. So I just did the dahlia on the inside, but there you go. Isn't that pretty? A little bit unexpected with that bedazzling paper, but I just love that extra little touch of sparkle. So there is our project. Now let me show you a few more. So some more using these beautiful distinctive stamps. So this is one I posted earlier today. I stamped these in crushed curry and used Mossy Meadow or Old Olive? I can't remember. One of the two for the leaves. And again, masked the blossoms. Okay, I've matted it with some of our new craft cardstock, which I just love with yellow. I just find those two colors work really well. Now, this is one I haven't posted yet. This is just a simple stamping card. So super, super basic, stamped in polished pink and just jade. And I added some of the smaller blossoms around. So literally stamps, ink, and cardstock. Nothing fancy, but look at how pretty that card is. And then, of course, I posted this earlier today as well. So this, again, uses the smaller blossom, which is just as pretty and detailed as the dahlia. But this one I embossed using the new time-worn type embossing folder once I had stamped my flowers. And it just adds some lovely texture to the background. And then here is one that I did where I stamped just the line art dahlia. So I stamped it in Memento Black ink and then colored it using my Blackberry Bliss and Evening Evergreen blends. And then I matted it on a very narrow border of brushed gold. So this is the new, it's new, but not new. It was in last year's mini and is back. Brushed gold cardstock for just a really subtle little hint of shimmer along the edge. So super simple. And then finally, I posted this one earlier as well. This is one I used with two-step stamping. So I stamped the distinctive image at first, and then I stamped the line art image over top. The distinctive stamp is stamped in Petal Pink, and the line art one is stamped in Fleur de Flamingo. For my leaves, I used Mint Macaron for the distinctive stamp, and then Just Jade for the line art. But again, a super simple card, but the imagery in this stamp set is just gorgeous. All right, everybody, I hope you like those projects. I am in love with this stamp set. It is totally worth redeeming 2 Saleabration items for it. So many possibilities. Like I said, it really is 2 stamp sets in one with the distinctive stamps and the line art. All right, everybody, that's it for me for tonight. I hope you enjoyed these projects, and I will see you again tomorrow, same time, same place, for day 6. We're getting so close of our Saleabration Countdown. Bye for now.